What's up guys? So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at sine, cos and tan graphs. By the end of this video you should understand how they work and you should understand how to use them to find the angle at certain values of sine x, cos x and tan x. So first let's look at the sine graph. A sine graph looks something like this, where if we have a y axis and we have an x axis, our sine graph is going to look something like this, where it repeats itself every 360 degrees, and halfway through this is 180. Now, as you can see, because it's like a parabolic motion, like my quadratics, which I showed off in an earlier video, you can see that there are two values for any value of sine x. So if this is y equals sine x, and let's say we have a sine x value of a, sure. Well, as you can tell, a will intersect the point in two places. First is this acute angle, I'll call this B. And then we also have at this point here, which is simply going to be 180 minus B. Do you understand? So the whole point that I'm trying to make is that these two values here will always add up to 180. What about on the bottom? Because down here it's not going to be 180, is it? Well, remember what we said here. The point from here to here is still 180 degrees, right? So if we have a point here, let's call it C, right? It intersects the points here and here, right? And what can you tell me about these 2 points here? Well, all we need to do is we need to minus 180 from whatever this is here, and then whatever this is here. And again, it's the same as it was last time. It will add up to 180. But let's do this in practice so that we can take a better look. So if y equals sine x, right? How are we going to work out what sine x is equal to 0.82 on this graph? Well, let's look for 0.8, which is roughly here. 0.82. And we can see that the points at which it intersects are, and you can use your calculator to work this out, or you can use an estimation. It's up to you how you want to learn this. You can see that this is equal to roughly 55 degrees. Now, remember what we said here, that this value plus this value is equal to 180. So therefore, if this is 55, the other value is simply going to be 180 minus 55, which is equal to 125, okay? So those are the 2 points where sine x is equal to 0.82. You can double check this by doing sine 125, and it's equal to roughly 0.82. So therefore we know that this is correct. Okay, what about the other side? Here we're told that sine x is minus 0.04, which is roughly here, okay? So at these 2 points here, we're going to get our two values for sine x is equal to minus 0.04. So if we do that on our calculator, we're going to get the lowest value first, which is going to be minus 2.29. Okay, so this is not false. This just means that it's this value here, right? Is 2.29. So all we're going to do is, as I mentioned, it adds up every 360. So all we're going to do is plus 360. And we're left with 357 degrees. Okay? And how are we going to work out what this value here is? All we're going to do is we're going to think, okay, what is this value here going to be? It's going to be 3 degrees, isn't it? Which means that this value to here is also going to be 3 degrees. And so what's 180 plus 3? 180 plus 3 is going to be 183 degrees. And so therefore, those are the two values for sine x is equal to negative 0.04. What about for cos? So cos is similar, but all we're doing is we're shifting it to the side by 90 degrees. So if this is y and this is x, cos starts from here and then it goes up. But if you can see carefully, it's just a sine graph shifted to the left by 90 degrees, okay? And it stops at 1, and again, it repeats itself every 360 degrees. But cos is very straightforward. All we need to remember is if we have a value a, y equals sine x, right? It has points b and 360. I'm gonna actually write that again. 360 minus b. So the two values here will add up to 360, no matter if it's negative or positive. So let's take a look at this example. For this example, we're given that cos x is equal to 0.49. So let's look for 0.49. It's roughly here. And let's put down our markings to see that we've used the graph. And if we pop that on our calculator, then we find out that cos x is equal to 60.7. Okay, sure. I'm happy with that. So then this value is simply going to be 360 minus 60.7, which is simply equal to 299.3 degrees. And the point is that this x plus this is going to equal 360. Okay? But what about if it's negative 0.1? So once again, let's look for negative 0.1, which is here. So it's that value there and that value there. And again, let's do our cos. So the arc cos of 0.1 is 96 degrees, roughly. And so this will simply be 360 minus 96, which is equal to 264 degrees. Okay, so this plus this is still equal to 360 degrees. What about tan graphs? Well, tan graphs are a special case because they repeat every 180 degrees. So if we draw our tan graph like this, so this is y, this is x, and this is 0, our tan graphs are going to look something like that. Okay? I'll draw that a little bit better. So, as you can see, if this is y equals tan x, all it is it repeats itself every 180 degrees, okay? And again, if this is 360, this is 180, and then this is 0. But as you can see, I'm leaving a lot of space between 90 degrees, right? This is 90 and this is 270. This is because this is an asymptote, okay? It never touches 90 and 270. If you write tan 90 or tan 270 on your calculator, you should get an error because it simply doesn't exist. So this is A, once again, it touches the graph at B, and then at 180 plus B. So we can use this to our advantage again. So if tan x is equal to 1.88, 1.88 is roughly here. So it passes through this point here and this point here. And if we do that on our calculator, we should get a value of 62 degrees. So two significant figures. And then this is just going to be 62 plus 180, okay? And 62 plus 180 is equal to 242. Same thing when it's equal to minus 1. We just put minus 1 here and here. The inverse of tan minus 1 is just going to be minus 45. On this side, it's minus 45. So therefore, this point here, we're just going to add 180, okay? So this is 135. Yeah? Because all we're doing is we're plus 180. And then we plus 180 again to work out what it is at this point, which is 315. So all we're doing is we're plussing 180 each time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video made sense to you. If you guys liked it, please subscribe. That's the best you could do to help me. If you guys need any questions or comments that need to be answered, join my Discord server. And if you guys need some extra tutoring, drop me an email and you can send me an email and I can give you a quote. Keep on learning as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.